morning and welcome to today's live on Equa Television Africa. My name is Tony J. Nakale, and today we are looking at how you can take ownership of your entirety to tolerate people. On the show today I have Lois Turaki is here and Sele Elisha is here with me.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Great, thank you.
Are you excited to be on the show?
Yes.
You look like you are tolerating me on the show.
Because you have so much value. So.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So we're talking about tolerance. When we talk about tolerance, what should we look out for? Or how can we define what tolerance is?
I just simply put it as accommodating people, their lifestyle, the way they do their things, their religion and their habit, their attitude, their character, the whole, all of them.
Okay, Sele, if we're looking at the attitude of a person or the character of people that you should tolerate, must you tolerate a character? If you have to tolerate a character, why do you have to tolerate a character?
Because you have respect for that person. Because if we are looking at tolerance, you have to respect people. You don't have to be in agreement to everything they do. So in essence, I'll just say you have to agree to disagree at a point in time, because it's all about where we find ourselves in a place that people have different point of view. People have different things they stand for. So we don't have to be on the same page for us to agree on a particular thing. I have to respect you that this is what you think about a particular thing. And for us to move, whether it's in our personal life or in a place of work, regardless, you have to respect people. So you need to have a place where you accommodate people.
How do you build that character within yourself to tolerate?
I feel you can just do that by knowing who you're relating to. Like, there are people that you might not really like their character, but there are some things you have to learn from them. And so you have to build that that ability, that willingness to be able to accommodate them, so that you will learn that particular thing you think you can learn from them to make you grow in a particular area. Or
because if we're going with that definition, Lois, that means every now and then we have to keep building character, the kind that will make us tolerate people, because people show up with every kind of character, and then people who tolerate are powerful. If you have strength, you cannot tolerate, because being able to tolerate something or someone is stronger than not tolerating them. It is. So if I'm tolerating Sele because she has a lot of things that are considered excess, I think it's more difficult than not tolerating, because if I don't tolerate it, it will give rise to a whole lot that might not even come from my emotions. It can come from an action that can stem from anger, you know, disliking what she does and all that. But you see, there is no place on earth you can live today without tolerating people. Whether you like it or not, if you have a relationship, you have to tolerate the person you are related to. If you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you have to tolerate them. If you have parents, siblings, you have to tolerate them. People at work. So we live our lives tolerating stuff. If we want to talk about tolerance and would want to make tolerance like wide or open tolerance to the nitty-gritties of what it is, I think for the rest of the existence of Equa Television, we'll be talking about tolerance. For instance, we have been tolerating a government that has paid no mind to the plight of Nigerians. And that is a serious thing to even, you know, fathom as a people. How can we deal with the person you are tolerating, what he is doing to you that you cannot stop, even when he knows that you are at the peak of your tolerance? How do you deal with that? See, so like you have a governor in a state He is bent on a project, and we have so many people in this country who are leaders that are so bent on projects that are anti-people. We have seen in several states how people say, this is not what we want at the moment. What we are asking for is just pay the 6 month salaries. But he's like, no, I want to build the tallest building. We don't need it. What we need right now, we want to see the building that you are building, we want to eat so that we can climb it. If it's the tallest building, we will need, because there will be no light for the lift to work, you know. So there are some projects that are anti-people. If you look at the system of governance in Nigeria, if you look at the system of leadership, even in the church, there are a lot of people that are tolerating their pastors.
True.
So when we are talking about tolerance and we are diversifying tolerance, you tolerate a lot of people in the religious section. You tolerate a lot of people in the leadership section. You tolerate a lot of people in politics. You tolerate a lot of people that are even colleagues at the same cadre with you. See? So if we are talking tolerance, tolerance is wide. Tolerance is wide. Tolerance is not something today's life can deal with in an episode. It's not possible that we can deal with tolerance within just 1 hour. But just let's look at some basic things if we're talking tolerance. Let's look at a few things that we need to consider when we're tolerating people. We talked about the strength. Now let's talk about the capacity to tolerate. What is the kind of capacity to tolerate? Have you been tolerating me as your boss?
I guess so.
Have you?
Yes.
Okay, so how did you build the capacity to tolerate your boss? Are you supposed to tolerate your boss, or you are supposed to fit in the activities of your boss? Or if you start looking at your subordinate, if you start looking at people that are working under you, or people that are at the same level with you, are you supposed to tolerate them, or you are supposed to agree, or you are supposed to accept, or you are not supposed to tolerate? What are you supposed to do? How do we deal with these tolerance issues as it relates talking about building the capacity to tolerate?
I think, sorry, for me personally, sorry to cut you short, I think for me personally, how I build the capacity to be able to tolerate is trying to see things from the other person's point of view. The world is not all about me. I need to learn to see things from other people's perspective. Why is this person bringing this point from this point of view? Why is this person having this opinion about this particular thing at this point in time? Because if this is what I stand for and another person is bringing this from this other point of view, especially my boss, whatever he's bringing, I have to look at it. Why did he bring this point? Why at this point in time, how am I going to relate to it? How can I fit into it? Because tolerance is not just about because he said it, no. Tolerance is about respect. Tolerance is about seeing the value that person has. Tolerance is also about understanding, being patient. If I don't have patience, if I'm not understanding, I cannot see things from another person's point of view. So I think for you to be able to build that capacity, you need to be respectful to the person, number one. You need to see the value of that person. You also need to also be patient, because we have found ourselves in a time where people are in a hurry to do everything. When somebody says something, you don't sit down and, will I say, ingest it and know why is this person saying it. We are in the hurry to just conclude about certain things. So it's all about being patient also and say, okay, why should I do this? Why is this person saying this? What do I need to, how would it also, because at a point in time, you see that it's not just about the person. You also have something to gain out of it at the end of the day. So I think that's how you'll be able to build your capacity to be able to tolerate things and also tolerate people.
Lois?
Just like Salah has said, with time I had to put in that, I had to understand that, number one, you are my boss, and then there's a reason why you are there ahead of me. So I had to understand that you are there for a reason. That respect is there. You are a valuable person, and then the world also does not revolve around me for you to give me an instruction, there is a reason for it, and I have to adhere to it, whether I like it or not. And at the end of the day, it's for the benefit of the organization, and for me too, to have certain experience and then to learn certain things. So I had to build that capacity in which I not to tolerate, but then to understand and to do exactly what I'm supposed to do at a particular time.
You have to be powerful enough. You have to have power. If you must tolerate, you have to have power. You have to understand that a lot of things are not even done against you. You must have that understanding. You must learn to make you angry. If you don't have, make you angry. So is a tool that you need to have. Is a tool that you need to have. What do I mean a tool? Is a character, is a power that must be imbibed in you. Is a power that you must have. Because a lot of people have various types of sicknesses because they are not able to tolerate. People get angry over certain things that you will look at and laugh. You get the point. Like, Sele, is this why you are crying? You might even, this is laughable. Why are you crying? Why are you crying? You see, we have different tolerating powers. We have different tolerating powers. There are things that I can tolerate that Sele will not be able to tolerate. There are things that I cannot tolerate. Sele can, as leader as I am. Why is the GM freaking over a thing like this? This is not even something too big. Tolerance extends from, how do I put what's in my mind right now? Help me, Lord Jesus. When you want to tolerate someone, you find out that you are not giving up your rights to adulthood to tolerate the person. When you look at the circumstances around tolerating the person, this can be tolerated. But because it is coming from a particular person, she has been doing this thing for long. Do you know that at work, there are people who don't care when they come? I'm not just talking Equa television. Some people don't care when they resume work. Some people don't care when they go home to see their families. Some people don't. So from tolerating you, it grew to be a pattern for your family or for your work or for everything. And then people know that nobody can help this lady because she insults her husband in public. If she can do it in public, we can imagine what he has been dealing with at home. So it will leave the level of tolerating a person to accepting people the way they are. That's a very high level of tolerance. Because we are looking at Lois always taking things that are not hers. For instance, she comes to work. Who took the pen here? I'm using it. Not even, oh, I'm sorry, mine, I can't find mine, but I'm using it. Where's my laptop charger? Everybody even knows. They'll say, ask Lois. Why? Because your character formation is that which you like taking things without asking. You don't take things appropriately. Things are taken, but there is a way things are taken. You have to talk about it. You have to, like, let the owner know that you're taking his stuff or her stuff. But you take it all the time. If we have stopped talking to you. Why? Because nobody can help you. You have been queried over carrying people's things. It didn't change nothing. You have been queried over talking to people anyhow. It didn't change nothing. You have been queried over everything. So right now, we just look at you in the office or in the company or in the church or wherever it is and just say, if it's this one, that's how she is. Now, how would you feel, honestly, if people say, if it's this one, that's how she is?
I personally, I won't be okay, especially if it's in a negative point of view where people say, this is how she is. Then that means I have gotten to that point that I am
you are not being tolerated. You have been accepted the way you are.
Then that means I cannot even take corrections anywhere. That means at a point in time, people will get to a point that nobody wants to be around me. And if I don't come to realize that the world is not about me, then that means I am unbreakable. Because the point of being broken is for you to come to that point and say, it's not all about me. Other people are affected at a point in time. Why do I keep picking people's things without their permission? And because people have gotten to the point that even when it's spoiled, let me just fix it. Because even when you talk to her, she won't do anything about it. So I need to get to that point of, because it's already a point of no return for you. Because it's as if you are doomed. That's the word I'll use. I'm doomed already because nothing can be done about me. So it's left for me to get to that point and say, at what point did I get to this point that nobody can correct me? Where did I lose it? That is, if I still have some sense left in me, then I need to come back and talk to myself. Because one thing I've always said, we are quick to say the devil is our enemy, but we are the enemy of ourselves. Because if you don't talk to yourself, nobody can do anything about it. Imagine the point where someone once said that if God should leave us to ourselves, what will happen to us? So if you don't talk to yourself, nobody can talk to you and tell you anything. No matter, even if, because it will get to a point that even if Christ himself will come down and talk to you, you won't change. Except you realize that I'm bad. What can I do? I need help. When you realize that I need help, help has come already. But when you don't come to that point and say, I need help, then that means you are doomed and nothing can be done about you.
How do we build the capacity to endure continued subjection? How do we build the capacity to endure continued subjection? Because people have that issue of, let them leave me alone. I will do what I want to do. Is a subjection. People say, if I am employed to be a cashier, why wouldn't they leave me to do my cashier work? Why must they say I have to do it this way? Subjection. I am a cleaner. Why must they show me how to clean? Subjection. Anywhere you go to, I will not stop saying that anywhere you go to, they have policies of how their activities are governed. So when you come to a place and you don't find out how are their activities governed, the people will have to build a capacity that will make them continually live in tolerating your subjection. So how do we deal with people who have that kind of issue? Because if we are looking at like a senior degree of tolerance, which is accepting people the way they are, once you are tired of tolerating them, how do we deal with continued subjection? How do we grow our capacity to the extent that we have to like tolerate people on like continually?
For one to remain in a particular place that he or she is needed, I think you have to build that capacity that you need to tolerate the things that are being said to you, the things you're being asked to do. Because, okay, for example, in this place,
which place? In
Equa Television, there are other responsibilities that can be added to you. If you're maybe as a presenter, there are other things I might be asked to do, and then I shouldn't be closed. I shouldn't close my mind to the fact that, okay, because I'm a presenter, I have to just present and present and present. That's the only thing I need to do. There are other things that I might be called upon to do, and then I have to do it. Not that whether I like it or not, but my mind should be open to any other thing apart from my primary assignment, that's presenting. So when you understand that there are other things that you need to do as an individual in an area that you're valuable in, then I don't think it should be an issue if they say, go and do this thing, you'll be, no, I won't be able to do it. I'm being employed to do this particular thing, so I should be able to do that thing only.
You are static. in your nature as a creative, because you work in a creative industry, and as a creator of so many things, you should be able to feel free at all times to explore avenues available, even the avenues that are not available. You must have to, because we're talking about subjection. We're looking at how people disregard the things that are needed, the things that are necessary, the things that cannot be done without. Somebody knows, for instance, that there is a meeting by 2 and he's supposed to set the tables. And he's also strolling into the meeting expecting that someone has set it. Subjection. But you see, the point is, the world is like a revolver pistol. The world is like a revolver pistol. The revolver pistol is mostly a small, shiny piece of weapon with holes that contains ammunitions. When you shoot one, it will revolve to the next one. You shoot, it revolves to the next one, you shoot. Everybody in an organization, whether leader or the led, you are in that capacity, or you are in that atmosphere, or you are in that position, or you are in that condition. It's just a matter of a short while. When they keep shooting, as long as they keep shooting, it will soon get to your turn. And when they get to your turn, they won't ask your opinion. They will just fire. Pow! And you have to go out and hit the target. That is what is expected of you. I don't think I want to be tolerated for like regularly. I am not just a boss in Equa Television. I am also a staff under a boss. Sometimes I'm being called with assignments I have no business doing. I can never tell them, do you people realize I am in media, or I am in... Do you realize that? Nobody cares. I was guest speaker in a church. I'm not ordained pastor. I would have told the people that invited me, why are you inviting me? I'm not a pastor. Look for a pastor. You have to grow your capacity to tolerate a lot of things. A lot of things. Even when people ask you for a favor, you have to tolerate how they want the favor to be done to them. Yes. Haven't you seen that? Somebody will ask you for money. I'm on my way out, I dropped it on my table. This Lois. One day we will make it too. See this girl, I asked her for money, she dropped it. So I should go and pick it. What does she want? What does that mean? There is this daughter of mine. She asked me for money. And then, instead of giving it to her, I transferred the money to her mother. Because I know, most likely, she's going to do what the parents will not like. So I sent the money to the mother. She sent me a message, Uncle T, because I asked you for money. Come on. She mentioned the amount. I have to go through my mom to collect it. I'm in the university, blah, blah, blah. I said, what is wrong with that? It's the same thing as giving it to you. So go home and take it from your mom. She got angry and never collected that money. So you see, I had to tolerate that too. So I called her, and one day I met her in school and I said, because of this you didn't? She said, Uncle, now that you are here, you have to give me this money. I said, no, it's still with your mother. So you see, when you're talking about tolerance, there are people that they know you are tolerating them, but they want to put you in a position to tolerate them more. And we get tired as people.
We do.
Especially when you are tolerating an adult. Not just an adult, the adult that has refused to grow. Have you met people like that? They have refused to grow. There are people who hear that there is a seminar on how to make soap. They will go, yet they are doctors. People are just looking for information everywhere. Some people hear there's this seminar, they are registering to be there. Why? They want to increase their capacity so that they can tolerate a lot more. And when we're talking tolerance, like I said earlier, we are not just looking at tolerance at work. You are looking at your parents at home, they are still buying food, doing everything, tolerating you as big as you are. You come home. Do you understand? You have not been able to bring a dime home. Now you are complaining about the taste of the food. That maybe your mother is supposed to be chilling at home and you are bringing money, but she's still going out, look for money, and you hear the voice, beer everywhere. Do you know that there are men, not boys, or men, that their parents are still tolerating them, but they are careful letting them go so that they just don't end up in some kind of vices that cannot be controlled. But you see, especially boys at home, and they don't eat small quantity. Okay, are you experienced in that? You are shaking your head. So how can my parents be tolerating me as an adult at home and not being able to help my father or my mother? And in some cases, the mothers are without, the fathers are gone. Then how can your wife at home be tolerating your excess luggages every now and then? I'm asking you. We are quiet. Because if truth be told, as an adult, you have to give people less work of tolerating you. Less work of tolerating you. Because everybody, especially in this country that we are, everybody is already tired of the atmosphere. Right now, I've been seeing the analysis that people are making about members of our political what's the word to use on these people now, that it will not offend us as a church and it will not offend the let's just call them politicians. How many people, 20-something people in APC contesting, they gave APC 2-point-something billion naira because the form is 100 million. So now the vice president of this country that is aware of the issues happening in Nigeria has 100 million to spare. Because it's there. You are not even sure. In fact, in the APC form, we are told reliably that there is a form inside, a withdrawal form. So you are not even, that's money to spare. So somebody that can spare 100 million, how much does he have?
Much more than that. Extremely more.
Let's even consider that. How much do you have? How did you get the money? Because you were not awarded any contract. It would have been on the papers. You are a public servant. Some of them are ministers. Some of them are giving appointments and all of that. So how? You see what we are tolerating as Nigerians? Can you do that in other countries? I was watching you on the dailies this morning, and you were talking about Nigerians going to Ghana to study, and somebody called and he was almost jumping into the studio from his house on phone. I was wondering, Kai, so people have tolerated this government so to much. That extent? Look at that. There are communities where people cannot even walk a kilometer to see water. Kilometer is the closest. Like if they can get, they'll be happy. Yet somebody within that same community has 5 million to purchase a form for something he is not even certain. Now, the question is, why do you want us to tolerate you at the dying minute when you have been aware of the predicaments of our community for a long time? For a long time. You are from within the community. That you don't live there does not make you exempted. You are from within the community. So these people have been tolerating you. That is why sometimes you see politicians' cars are in wreck when they enter particular places. Because people have been tolerating you for a long time. Have you ever been in secondary school in those days? When we stand gisting and we see someone of negative vibe coming, we start leaving one by one. We are tired of tolerating people. So you see, if we're talking about tolerance, we have tolerated the government of Nigeria for about how many years of politics? How many years of democracy?
About 20.
Look at that. We live a life of tolerance. At least, let's even tolerate you for fake things. Like, let's say you want to do road, 200 kilometers, and you promise that the thickness will be like 9 inches and you did 6 inches. Let's tolerate you for not performing. Because that's non-performance. But if you are static as a leader, we are not tolerating you, we are accepting you the way you are. Because even the system, the judicial system that is supposed to fight for Nigeria, that is supposed to lock up people like that, keep them behind bars, we have tolerated them for a long time. When you talk about tolerance, there are many angles. And I want you to start thinking while I'm bringing the angles that are in my mind. Bring out other angles. Have you ever seen somebody being dragged to the police station for stealing in your area, and then he was taken to court, and then he was in the police station, and then 2 days later you see him strolling in the area? We are not only tolerating his criminal activities, we are tolerating the judicial system, the security system, for letting such a person loose. So we have been tolerating a lot of things as people. In fact, if they are to calculate our tolerating power, the one that we didn't even put any concerted effort, like to have, I think it will be way more than what some presidents of some countries go through. I think so. So what are the other tolerating activities or characters or avenues that we need to explore?
I think even though we've done it, it's at the place of work, which is, I think, most of the place we spend more time here, a place of work. You have someone that you need to keep tolerating because you need to work together. And despite the fact that you've pointed out to the person, why don't we do things this way? You're always careless in doing this. Your words are always harmful. Why don't you do this? Till the person is inadamant to change. And at the point in time, you have no choice than to just accept the person the way he or she is. Or if there's a way that you can walk alone, you just walk alone without getting the person involved. Why? Because you're tired of tolerating the person. Because at the point in time, instead of bringing out results, you're even getting worn out. Because over and over, you've tried to look for a way around things and it still fails. So I think it's really something that I think even I personally have gotten tired of certain people. And at the point in time, you can't let them go. Because maybe a place of work, I don't have the power to fire such people.
So you would have been firing people?
Maybe.
Sele, you are not nice. You look like a nice person, but you are not.
No, see, I think at the point in time, we need to point out people's excesses and let them know that I think for every bad misconduct, there's a punishment that comes with it. Yes, you're forgiven for certain things, but we're tired of tolerating you. Even though letting you go, sometimes to some people, they won't change after you let them go. But maybe it will sign as it will come as a reminder for them to know that people are getting tired of tolerating you in this place of work. Because even if you get to work in another place, the people in that same place will get tired of tolerating you. And that's why I say if you still have small sense left in you, is for you to call yourself back to order. Why is it that everywhere I go, people are tired of me? The moment I'm getting into the office, people are leaving one by one. If I'm falling sick, people are happy that I'm not in the office. Because I've become, I think I've become a pain to them at the point in time that they cannot bear it any longer. People are tired of tolerating me. So if you still have sense, it's for you to call yourself back to order and say, why am I like this? Because people will even, at the point in time, people get angry with you for no just reason. People will be gisting and laughing. The moment you call me, people are frowning. And you wonder, what is the problem with me? So if you still have sense, it's for you to call yourself back to order. I think it's another place that we really, really need to explore, because people are really, at a point in time, maybe you feel people are not being fired, or because they have a connection, people are tired of tolerating them, or they have somebody somewhere that's holding them back. So I think it's something we also need to explore and look into it.
Another aspect is relationship. There are both normal dating relationship and then marriage. We have seen a
You have
lot
been
of-
married before?
No, sir.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
We've seen and heard a lot of stories of people that engage in dating relationship and then in marriage, and then they had to tolerate for a particular period, and sometimes you get to accept people the way they are, just like we've said earlier, because you are tired of certain bad habits they have been exhibiting, or some things that you're not very okay with, and you have been talking to them about it and they have not changed. You might still want to be in the relationship with them, or you decide to leave. And we've seen stories of people that have spouses that have killed one of the spouse because they have tolerated a lot of things, and then it got to a point that they couldn't tolerate it, and then they mistakenly, most of the time they will say that they mistakenly killed the other person or injured, and a lot of all those kind of stories we've heard. So just like Saleh has said, if you have sense, you will definitely change from bad attitude that people are continuously complaining about, so that people will reduce the rate at which they tolerate you in either the relationship or at work.
In most cases, when people disrespect you, it is as a result of their inability to know you. Some people just get angry over a decision you took now, not knowing why you took the decision. Because until you are in that kind of position, you will not have the understanding of why that decision was taken. You will not. Until you are in the position, you will not have an understanding why such a decision was taken. I have been in... funny enough, you will not view this way. But the same way you walk under me, I walk under someone. And the pressure that I receive from the person I walk with, sometimes is even more than the pressure that I let down on you. Because there are so many expectations from people who support us. There are so many expectations. The people who support us, they want to see us wholly on TV, wholly outside TV. They don't want to see anything that will make them doubt why they are supporting us. So the people supporting us will not want to tolerate us. They don't want to tolerate us. Ekwa Television is a religious station, and largely we survive by support. People are like, wow, these are the things you are doing. Let's be able to support these people. And you even find people outside supporting us and talking to other people to support us as well. You hear Ekwa Television, they are trying, they are doing well. And then suddenly, they see the people supporting, behaving in the same manner as those that they are working hard to change. What do you think their rationale will be about us? That is why we are not just on TV. We are a lifestyle for us and for other people. Now, you are talking about anger. And you're talking about people should learn how to control their anger. And somebody's like, wow, I have learned a lot on this Ekwa Television. Me, angry person. I have learned a lot. And then the same you, after the close of work, you are rushing to terminus to pick some things. And they see you telling the trader, I will slap you if you don't give me this. I'll be here before this person. And the same person you preached to earlier.
Contradicting.
And you talked about relationship. And you said you have to be patient, you have to tolerate, you have to this. And then suddenly we see you insulting your boyfriend on social media. Look at the waywardness of your life and look at what you're preaching on TV. There has to be a strong marriage between your lifestyle and what people are learning on TV from you. Mm-hmm. So we shouldn't get to a level where the people that are supporting us are tolerating us. And let me even tell you something that is shocking. The people that are supporting you can push you into the character that they will tolerate. Do you understand what I just said now? Because the people that are supporting you, they can invite you to a birthday party at home. They expect you to come and celebrate there. And the same people say, look at the people that we are supporting on TV. See how she's dancing. You just know nothing is wrong with attending the birthday party. But everything wrong about your character or your behaviors while at that birthday party. They invited you because they have a sense of who you are. Now you went to the birthday party and then you have taken the position of the parent of the child to dance more than the parent, to clown yourself more than the parents, to even do, they are like, these people, they are only matured on TV. When they are out of TV, is this who they are? You see, so you can't let people tolerate you. Imagine that you are supporting Equa and you went to, you are supporting Equa TV and you are not a strong believer like that. You are on your own enjoying, and then you went to the nightclub and then you saw an Equa executive dancing. Just imagine that. You will not tolerate that. You will not tolerate that. You will not tolerate that. You will not even assume that is a lifestyle. You will wonder what it is. You will wonder what it is. If we are trying to save the world and people are helping us do it, let's make them happy doing it. Mm-hmm. See? So if you have a boss, he has expectations. Don't let him tolerate what you are doing. If you have a wife, she has expectations. Don't let her tolerate what you are doing. If you have a husband, you have expectations. You don't let your husband tolerate what you are doing. Of course, place for tolerance. When it becomes character, it has formed a character. That is where you see homes will break, people will resign, people will be fired, organizations will not grow. A lot of things. A lot of things. And the fact that you are being tolerated does not make what you are doing right.
Very true.
The fact that you are being tolerated does not make what you are doing right. In fact, it's an insult to you that you are being ignored in the place that you are working. It's an insult to everything you know. It's an insult to the years you spent in the university or in school. It's an insult to all the things that your parents. It's an insult to the prayers that people are praying for you. God forbid that me, Tony Nakale, would do something that people will say, Kai, I regret supporting Equa TV because of this man. God forbid. I don't want to see that day. But there are a lot of us who don't care. Go to Equa headquarters. There are people that are working, killing themselves to make the system work. There are people that are also telling them, see, I've been here for 18 years. In fact, next month will make it 90 years that I'm here. Take it easy, you will kill yourself here. How can you tolerate somebody that is standing in the way of your progress? Because you sat down and determined that this is who you want to be in life. And you are using time to achieve that. And then somebody suddenly is telling you, see, you will die here, or if you die, they will replace you. What is wrong if I die trying to become who I want to be in life? There's nothing wrong with that. You always see it as working for somebody. No. I see it as building myself. Recently, I started talking to myself. Like, Kai, there are several other things I need to start doing because I'm not doing a lot. And then we will sit down and say, we are traveling. and the call time is 8 o'clock. Do you know there is somebody, they will tell Lois, call time 8 o'clock. Lois, call time is 8 o'clock. Oh. He said, no, me, I will even, they are the ones first to start defending what they are ahead of time planning to do. No, there is this, my friend, she lives close to the office. I'll even sleep in her house so that I will come early. 10 o'clock, the person is not here. We have tolerated that for a long time. There are so many angles to tolerance. But I think, let's check social media if we have comments. Pardon me, I'm going to use my phone. My eyes are, I'm still a Christian, but my eyes are dimming already. All right. What are we looking at? Comments, Equa Television, and on our live show. I think we have 2 comments from Raymond Diaye. We have a comment from Raymond Diaye. He said Kejama. I don't know what Kejama means in English. So what is Kejama? I don't know what that means. And he's just trying to re-echo the point that I made about projects that are anti-people. And so many people are watching, and the show is still live. And if we have more comments, I'll take the comments later. But right now, I don't seem to have much more comments. So, closing the show, what is expected of people that we are tolerating? How can people do things that will minimize the rate at which we tolerate them? I think they need to change their perspectives about people, and they need to have this idea of respect. You know, we have talked about respect on this show, and I think we extensively dealt with that. I think one of the topics that we have dealt with on today's live that people have even called personally, people have called the station to say, we learned this, we learned that, I think is respect, you know. And then you have to not just have respect, you have to use it as a practice. Like, let respect be a lifestyle. See, when you see people walking, you have to respect what they do. And then when you do that genuinely, when you respect people from a true genuinity, we are not talking about just eye service. You genuinely respect people and what they do. It will give rise to tolerating you less. Tolerating you less. And then you have to respect people, and then we have to say you have to be curious in seeing that people are not too bothered about what you do. And then you have to be curious about your role in the lives of people. You have to make sure that I'm in this person's life as a colleague. Let me just do the work of a colleague, and that should be it. You know, are there more things you need to say before we close?
Yeah, I think for me, another thing is you need to be responsible. It's very key when we want to learn to tolerate people. You need to be responsible. You need to be patient with people. You need to have value in yourself and also value in people. When you don't value people, you will never see the need for you to change or for the need to be patient with people. And I think above all for me, you also need to have an understanding of people. When you learn to understand people, you don't always see things from your own point of view. Always learn to see things from other people's point of view. Why is somebody this way? Why they do things like this? Open the doors for people to, you know, access you and be open to correction again. Because I think when you are not open to correction, you can never grow. There's no growth in your life, in whatsoever, whether it's in your personal life or at work or even relationship, when you are not open for correction. So I think we also need to be open to correction, because it's very important. When somebody points out your excesses, be open and say, what can I do to correct this thing? Take up the responsibility. Learn to say sorry when you're wrong and look for a way to make things better. I think it's another thing.
I think when we self-evaluate ourselves, every now and then, we will be able to know if people are tolerating us, if we're doing the right thing or not. So once in a while, we check ourselves and see what we need to change. We see what we need to upgrade, and then try to see how we can get in sync with people so that we can be able to move well.
It's been today's live on Equa Television Africa, and we are so grateful that you stayed tuned from the beginning to the end of the show to watch the piece that we have for you about tolerance. And I pray that you will build respect and you'll be curious in seeing that you are being tolerated less every now and then. The show is all week and working days, Mondays to Fridays, every now and then we will keep doing this till as Jesus gives us the enablement. Please don't forget to be kind to one another. On behalf of me and everyone at Equa Television, we are grateful for watching. See you tomorrow. God bless you.